Hello Bookish friends, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are starting another weekly reading vlog. So it is Sunday, December 10th at about 4:30 as I'm starting this. I am still reading A Holly Jolly Ever After by Sierra Simone and Julie Murphy. I am currently on page 267. I have this much left to read, which I'm gonna try to do between today and tomorrow because I really need to finish this book. I feel like I've been reading it forever. I'm really liking it, but I don't know, I'm not loving it as much as I loved the one last year. This book is basically about an actor and an actress who hated each other back in the day. The male actor posted a picture of the female actor when she was like passed out in a car, and it wasn't because she was drunk or anything. It was because she has narcolepsy and she just fell asleep in the car. But it was at an after party for a movie that was being filmed. So it basically ruined her career, and then Callum, main guy, released a sex tape and it kind of like kicked him off the Hope channel, which the Hope channel is basically their Hallmark channel. So both Callum and Winnie, the two main characters, are trying to revive their career, and they are doing a Hope After Dark movie, which Hope After Dark is basically like cheesy Christmas movies, but spicy with a lot of doing it. They basically go start filming this movie, and Winnie talks about how she's never, like, she grew up very religious, so sex was always like if you had sex before marriage, obviously it was a sin, and she just felt ashamed and like embarrassed about her sexuality, and not even her sexuality, just anything sexually related, like even talking about it made her uncomfortable. She decided that after her career kind of got damaged and her divorce from her piece of trash husband, that she wants to kind of reinvent herself, so she decided to accept the offer to do a Hope After Dark movie. And once she gets there, she realizes like, oh my god, I've never had an orgasm, like I don't even know how to act during a sex scene. And it was kind of just awkward at first because she didn't really know like what to do and how things were supposed to go. She asked Callum to be like her sex educator, aka teach her what it all feels like, and so she can use that in the scene. So they basically start hooking up, and they say, oh, it's just for the time that we're here and filming, it's nothing serious. And obviously becomes something serious. But then Callum's getting ready to leave because his pizza shop back home burned down, and he hops on a plane, is like, I have to get there right away. And he runs into the movie's producer, who was like a world-renowned producer for porn. And he gets kind of like starstruck and says like, oh yeah, things are good. We were really embarrassed for Winnie at first, and she heard it through the door, got really embarrassed, and then like kind of like completely ghosted him. That is kind of where I'm at right now when I say there's a second act breakup. Fast forward a couple months later, Callum is in Los Angeles for a Shark Tank filming because Mark Cuban wants to franchise his pizza company. He was in Los Angeles, and he's like, you know what? I need to take my life by the balls and go for what I want. I want Winnie, I love her, blah, blah, blah. He starts going to all these places that she goes to and whatnot, and ends up running into her. And then as he's saying like, Winnie, I love you, and she's like, I heard what you were saying, I'm embarrassed. And he basically is like, well, I love you. And in his head, he's thinking like, oh my god, like I want to run my tongue over, blah, blah, blah. Like he's thinking sexual thoughts while she's like hardcore going through like an emotional thing. And I'm like, what fucking man can't catch on to these things? Like, oh, that just aggravated me. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to watch the Bills and Kansas City game and hopefully read. And then what I want to read next is, I gotta make sure it's on my Kindle. There's two books I want to read on my Kindle. I think I need a new Kindle. Mine seems to be like really slow. So there's two books I want to read on my Kindle. The one is, and I'll post pictures right here, That Christmas Kind of Feeling by Hannah Bird. It's a little holiday novella. I love Hannah Bird's writing. It literally rips my heart to shreds, and she has a new book coming out next year, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And then the other book is an ARC copy that I was kindly gifted because I am a Sunny Babe PR influencer, and that is Smoking Gun by Lainey Lawson. So Smoking Gun, it's a fast burn, insta love, open door spice, has a high stakes, off the rails third act meant to be fun and wild, still ends on a cozy note with a happily ever after. I love that. And it's a cowboy romance. I don't sign up for a lot of ARCs just because I know I'm not good at reading them and like doing what I'm supposed to. But when I saw the ARC for this through Sunny Babe PR, I was like, yep, I need that one. And I have to read it by January 5th, so I want to focus on it this month. But I think I want to try to read both of those this week because they're on my Kindle and I can do it before bed. I still have a ton of books on here that I need to read. It's actually kind of insane. Like I have Veronica Ruiz Breaks the Bank, which I still need to read that little novella. And then I also just downloaded The Serpents in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent from Kindle Unlimited. I want to read that too. I heard it's really good. I got lots of things I gotta do, you know? And I got a lot of books that I need to freaking read and it's just not working, so yeah. All right, I just rambled on for 8 minutes, so we're just gonna get right into reading. Okay, before we get further into this reading vlog, I quickly want to talk about my new favorite cozy bookish item. And I quickly want to thank today's video sponsor, which is GlowCucent. GlowCucent reached out to me a while ago asking if they could send me one of their reading lights. That is what they're known for. When they reached out, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I originally had one of those book lights that like, you have your book open and it clips up here. And you have the light that like goes over it. And wasn't loving it because I was constantly having to like move the light, and I didn't like clipping it on my books because sometimes I left marks. I know that's a first world problem. When I was browsing through the different products GlowCucent had, I came across this bad boy, which this is their neck reading light, and the best thing about this is it's freaking rechargeable, so I never have to worry about batteries. You basically just put this over your head. There is a power button on the right side, and then on the other side you can change the brightness of the light or the color of the light. So there's 3 different color options at 3 different brightnesses. I absolutely love this thing because I can read at night and not disturb Chris, and he can go right to sleep because I just pop on my light, point it right at my book, and it doesn't even really bother him. I love how portable this thing is. You can just fold it right up, put it wherever you want. I brought this to Hawaii with me, and let me tell you, this was a lifesaver on the plane because I don't know, and especially with long flights, I feel so bad having like the overhead light on because that thing can be bright. It disturbs the people next to you, and I felt bad. So having this was a godsend in Hawaii. They have so many different colors. They have so many different options of neck lights too, so definitely check them out. Another quick thing that I want to note about this is that the price of this neck light is so reasonable, specifically because it is rechargeable and you don't have to like use batteries, and obviously they send you the charging cord. If you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a little steep, it's really not. I promise you, it is so freaking worth it. So this retails for anywhere between $21.99 and $23.99 depending on what color you get. I think that is such a fair price simply because you don't need batteries, and the amount of uses you're going to get out of this, you are going to get your use for it. Trust me, girl math is mathing. If you want to check out any of the neck lights from GlowCucent, you can do so using the link in my bio. It is an affiliate link, so if you do use my link, I do make a small commission, but that would mean the world to me if you did that because then you are supporting my channel. But definitely make sure to check out GlowCucent, and now let's get back into the reading vlog. I have decided to like kind of DNF / skip the end of this because I just don't care. I don't know what it is. Like, I just can't really care about these characters, I think. And the plot line is kind of like annoying. Like, it's focusing more on each character by themselves, like with their friends, than it is on them two trying to figure this shit out. I like looked at it and I was like, I have a whole other like 140 pages of this and I don't want to read it. Like, I really don't. So I skipped towards the end, and the very first chapter of this book and then the very last chapter are from Teddy Ray Fletcher's point of view, which Teddy is the producer that's like known for his porn that I was talking about. The beginning and the epilogue are about him. Like, why is that? A big plot point of this, and this might be a spoiler, so I'll give you a couple seconds to skip forward so you don't have to listen to this. Winnie gets pregnant by Callum, and she didn't tell him at first because they like weren't talking after she heard him say like that thing about her. They finally like decide to work on things and whatnot. But I kept reading. I was like, you know what? I know exactly what's gonna happen. She's gonna tell him. He's not gonna care. He's gonna be so excited. He's gonna say he can't wait to be a dad, and maybe this is what he's always needed. Obviously they're gonna fall in love and raise this baby and be happy forever. I went to go read the epilogue because I was like, all right, I really don't care. I just want to read the epilogue and see like what happens, how it ends. And the epilogue was about Teddy Ray Fletcher, and I was like, why the hell? This is done. I don't care anymore. Which makes me really sad because I was really looking forward to that book because I loved book 1 so much last year, but that one just was not it. I don't know what it was. I am going to read That Christmas Kind of Feeling by Hannah Bird. It's like a little holiday novella. I don't know how many chapters it is. It's only 8 chapters and an epilogue, so I think I can read this pretty quickly. We are going to sit here right now and see how long it takes me to read this. Let me see how many pages it is first. What am I gonna rate A Holly Jolly Ever After? I think I'm gonna rate it a 2-star because I didn't care about it at all, but I like the spicy scenes. I rated A Holly Jolly Ever After 2 stars. Let's see how many pages That Christmas Kind of Feeling is by Hannah Bird. 87 pages. I could probably read that in the next like hour and 15 minutes. It is exactly 4:56 and I'm gonna start right now. I was gonna say I'm gonna wait till like 5, but why wait? You know what I'm gonna do so I don't have to like remember to keep time? Set a stopwatch. We're gonna do that right now and see how long it takes me to read this little Christmas novella by Hannah Bird. I just finished That Christmas Kind of Feeling by Hannah Bird. It was so cute. Let me check my timer. It took me an hour and 40 minutes to read. Okay, sorry about the glare. Because I kept getting distracted and then I stopped for a second and forgot to turn off my timer. So it probably took me like an hour and 35 minutes-ish. But that was such a cute little holiday read. Basically about our main character, Amelia, who has this crush on her coworker, Levi. And she like gets all like jittery around him and like can't form words and has these fantasies. She's in his office getting her one Christmas tree fixed. And he gets a phone call. Actually, this is probably all spoilers. So if you want to read this and not know what it's about, you should probably skip. I'll let you skip. Okay, for you, those of you who want to know the story. Amelia's best friend takes her into Levi's office to like kind of force the two to talk and get her Christmas tree fixed. And Amelia overhears a conversation where Levi's dog sitter bails on him because she's sick for Christmas. And now he's saying he can't go on his trip to go see his family. And Amelia offers to dog sit for him because she doesn't like hanging out with her family. Her dad left her when she was young and her mom got a new husband and had kids and like kind of forgot about her. And whenever she went to go visit, Amelia became like her younger siblings' babysitters and she just didn't like being around her family and it was toxic. She's like, screw it, I don't want to do that for Christmas. I'll watch your dog. Obviously she's like fantasizing about being in his house and whatnot. So she goes to dog sit for him and then it's snowing as she's going there and she almost hits a deer. And then when she gets there, Levi gives her all the instructions on the dog and like, I don't even know, not that long after, he comes back and says, I'm snowed in, I can't get out of the driveway, the roads are not plowed, so I have to stay here. So now they're forced to be snowed in together. Then they lose power and whatnot, and then they have all these like great sexual moments, and they kind of break down like their trauma with their family. So Amelia has problems with her family, and at the end you realize that Levi does too. When he said he was going to stay with his family, it was his friends from college that he played football with. His parents were in and out of jail for drugs and drinking, so his football bros became his real family. So it was a really sweet holiday read. The storyline was actually really good, and the spice, I never knew Hannah Bird could write spice like that. In her other books, there's like talk of it, but it's very closed door. This is straight open door spice, and I loved it. I ate that shit up. Overall, a really cute little Christmas novella. If you're looking for something to just read in a sitting or two, it was really cute. And I just love Hannah Bird's writing. I love her in general. She's such a great human being. I feel accomplished because I technically finished 2 books today. I mean, one was like a DNF, but I still read over 60% of it. I read a little Christmas novella, so that counts. Don't know what I'm gonna read next. I am also listening to the audiobook of A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series. I am 10% of the way through that, so I will definitely be continuing that while I am out driving for work this week. So I definitely think I can at least finish that. It's a 25-hour audiobook, but I listen on 1.75 speed, and I drive so much each week that I think I could easily finish that. I haven't listened to that since Friday, so I kind of got to catch up on where I am and figure out where exactly I am in the book and move my bookmark. I don't know what I feel like reading next. I just read 2 holiday romances with some spice in it. I'm either feeling like a thriller. I don't know if I necessarily want to read another fantasy book because listening to A Court of, what the heck is it called? Wings and Ruin. Jesus, that's gonna be hard for me to remember. I don't know if I want to do another fantasy book while listening to that because I might get confused between the two. Maybe I'll read Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. It's like a cozy fantasy, but like completely different vibes than A Court of Wings and Ruin. Is that what it is? It's gonna take me so long to figure this out. Yes, Wings and Ruin. So, but my camera battery is blinking at me, so I'm gonna go pick out my next read and probably throw in some B-roll of me starting whatever I decide to start. I have gotten up from the couch unfortunately. I'm going over to watch the Dallas game with Chris and his family, which I really don't feel like leaving my couch right now, but whatever. I've decided what I'm gonna read next, and it was something that my heart was telling me to read. Damn, I forgot I had to change my camera battery, so I'll do this quickly. That is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. I could be wrong, but this is a thriller novel. I've loved his other books, The Patient and the Maidens, and this was actually kindly sent to me from the publisher, and I'm so excited to have received this arc because I love everything this man writes. So this is what I will be starting tonight. Not sure how much I will finish tonight, but I will either put in some B-roll or I will have an update tomorrow or at some point. Okay, hello reading vlog. We are actually sitting in my car. I am at one of my stores waiting to do a delivery, and then I'm gonna sit inside and get some much needed computer work done. I have a ton to do that I just seem to just not do every time I sit down to do it. I wanted to give you a reading update on The Fury by Alex Michaelides. Last night at Chris's parents, I read to page 33. This book is about these like movie stars that go to a private Greek island that is owned by Lana Ferrara, who her rich husband bought it for her. And it's like a tinier island, but it's isolated. There's like 3 structures on the whole island. One is obviously the house that they live in and stay in. The other is like a little cabin for the groundskeeper that they hire. And then the last one is like these old columns that are from like when the island was originally built on. So they're like thousands of years old and they're like crumbling and whatnot. Sorry, I'm trying to readjust my camera. But I actually really want to read this and cannot wait to get farther into this. I like the narration style. I don't think I've ever read a book where the person we're reading from is actually narrating, saying like, okay, I did this, and then Josie did this, and then this person did this, and he's kind of giving you his thoughts on each person. So the very first chapter, he says, I'm gonna be your narrator. His name is Elliot Chase. He's kind of narrator of the entire story. And it's kind of like he's telling a story rather than like you're experiencing it. So you already know somebody dies on this island, and you know it has to be one of the 7 people that were on the island. Obviously minus the person that died. So he's narrating it and saying, okay, we know somebody's dead. I'm gonna tell you where everybody was, what I heard going on into like before this all happened, what everybody was saying after it. And it's not a story about who did it, it's why they did it. So I think that's kind of cool because it's always like, who did it? Like that's always your first question, who did it? But in this one, it's like, why did this person do it? So I think they say, this is me making it up, this is not a spoiler. So there's this character, Kate. Say it was Kate that killed this person. Instead of saying, oh, we don't know who did it, we know, okay, Kate did it and this is why she did it. That is not the case at all for this book. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the whole narration style and the writing style of this. I mean, I'm only 30 pages in, but last night I would have stayed up till like 4 a.m. reading if I didn't have to work today. I think I got about 20 minutes until the truck is gonna be here, so I think I'm gonna try to get some reading done. And then once I watch the delivery, I have to go inside and get all this freaking computer work done. It's not gonna take me like a ridiculous amount of hours. Just need to do it. Like it's one of those things that like I put off because it just seems tedious, but I know once I start, I'm gonna be like, wow, like why did I wait so long to do this? You're gonna see how much we can read of this until the truck gets here, and then I will be back later with some sort of reading update.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Hello reading vlog, I am here for an update. I don't have much of an update, but I have some thoughts. I'm now on page 45, chapter 9. I've noticed about this story, and I think this is exactly why I'm liking it so much. Our narrator, Elliot, is kind of introducing each character involved in this as they come into the storyline of this murder at the end of every chapter. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that each character seems like they have a reason for being at this island and being around Lana. It seems like Lana is like the focus and center of everybody's attention, and everybody kind of like loves her. Agatha is the caretaker of this island and has known Lana for a really long time, and she's basically saying like, Lana's my best friend, even though Lana probably doesn't think the same thing about her. But I have a feeling that like she gets jealous, and then Kate, the other friend of Lana, seems to be jealous of Lana and Elliot's relationship and friendship. So it seems like everybody's like obsessed with Lana, and like that is the center of everybody's like focus. Basically what I'm trying to say, I just tried to find an example and couldn't find it, is that at the end of each chapter it says like, oh, there it is, that's why I'm here, like basically preluding to something that's obviously gonna happen. And it seems like each character involved in this and on this island has their own hidden agenda for being there, and it seems like it's gonna somehow revolve around Lana. The characters I've met so far are Kate, which is one of her best friends, Leo, her son, Jason, her husband, Elliot, one of her friends, Agatha, is the caretaker, and then Bobby is like the guy who runs groceries to and from the place and gets the house clean before they're ready to go there. But that is basically where I'm at right now. I'm still learning. My camera battery is flashing at me, so I need to go change it. It's about 5 p.m. on Monday, December 11th, and I'm going to sit here for the next hour or so and get some reading done.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas.
Okay, hello reading vlog. It has been a while since I gave you a reading update. Why is this so dark? Whatever, we're gonna have to work with it. So, it has been like, I think a full 24 hours since I gave you any kind of reading update. Yesterday was just busy. What did I even do? I was in Connecticut for the day. Didn't get home till later. Came home, did my usual chores, and then, what did I do? Oh, Chris and I did our Christmas cards, which took so much longer than I thought it was going to. So we did that, and I didn't really read much. I did read a little bit before I went to bed last night, and honestly I can't remember where I was when I last updated. Now I'm on page 84, chapter 18. I've read this much. I have to say I'm still really enjoying this. Basically what I'm getting from this is that everybody's like weirdly obsessed with Lana, and she seems to be the center of everybody's attention, which I know I said that a million times before. The only thing that's really happened since I last updated you is that they decided to go to dinner, and they have to take a boat to Mykonos to get there. And once they get there, somebody comes over to Lana and is like, oh my god, can I have your autograph? And Kate seems super jealous that Lana gets all the attention, and she's like, of fucking course you have to sign an autograph and make this whole night about you. And Lana's just like, are you kidding me? Like, how are you gonna be mad that I do this and I signed an autograph for somebody? And it seems like Elliot's kind of getting her to calm down. And as they're eating dinner, the wind starts to pick up. This book has something to do with the wind. Like, they keep mentioning how intense the wind is in this island and around this island. And the last thing that happened, literally, is Elliot saying, we better go soon or we might have trouble getting back. He had a linen napkin in his hand, and he dangled it over the side of the railing above the water where they were sitting. And he opened his fingers and let it go, and the napkin like was snatched and swallowed by the dark. So I don't know if that's like foreshadowing. Somebody's gonna get snatched away by the wind, or something's gonna happen with the wind. I'm gonna try to read as much as I can today because this is the last day for this reading vlog. Whoa, there's different parts. Sorry, I'm just like flipping through this, and it said chapter 5, and I was like, how can it be chapter 5 if I'm on chapter 18 right now? So it must be multiple different parts. Let's see. Oh, there's different acts. I'm gonna try to continue and see how much farther I can get into this. I have some free time right now where I'm going to sit and read and watch Friends per usual. Roll the B-roll.
Putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing.
Okay, jumping in quickly because I read a couple pages, and it seems like we're kind of backtracking now. The chapter I'm reading right now, it just ended with Elliot saying like, there's something I need to tell you, there's something I didn't tell you before. I told you I wasn't gonna lie when I wrote this and told you this story. And what I'm about to tell you, I didn't lie about, but I didn't tell you it before, and I think it's something you need to know. Backtrack a little bit. When he first introduced Lana in the story, she was walking on the streets of England, sick of the weather, and just wanted to get away, and that's when she came up with the Greece idea. And it says, I was allowing you to assume that once she made this decision, Lana immediately phoned Kate at the Old Vic to invite her to the island, but she actually waited 24 hours before she made that phone call. And literally the last line of this chapter is 24 hours during which, as you shall see, a great deal happened. So it's almost like something happened and then she called Kate to invite her to the island. So it's kind of foreshadowing something and some sort of bullshit that's probably gonna come up on this island. This is just like, it's kind of confusing to read because Elliot is narrating it and telling you his thoughts about certain things. It's hard to kind of form an opinion of people, and he's really making it seem like everybody is like annoyingly and weirdly obsessed with Lana, which he is too. I'm gonna keep reading. We're gonna see what happens, what happened in those 24 hours before she called Kate to invite her to the island, and I'll be back.
Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a fall.
I'm here quickly for a reading update. I'm now on page 122. I'm on Act 2, Chapter 9. Basically, we learned that Lana thinks, these are spoilers, so if you want to skip ahead, skip ahead. Lana thinks that her husband, Jason, cheated on her, and it's with her best friend, Kate. And that is why she invited Kate on the trip, to see if she could find them. She didn't want to just like outright say that they were cheating. She found an earring and realized it belonged to Kate, but she didn't want to like come at her husband. She wanted more like solid proof that it was happening. I think that is why she decided to invite Kate. That's pretty much all I've read so far. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I went out and ran some errands. I made some holiday treats, which you will see in the Vlogmas that is being posted on the Saturday after this. So keep a heads up for that. So make sure you have that notification bell hit so you are notified every time I upload. It is about 8 p.m. I'm going to sit here. Elf just came on, so I'm going to sit here and just read for the rest of the night. I feel very accomplished. I did a lot today, like a lot. I am going to sit here and relax for the next 3 or so hours, which feels great. So let's get some reading done. Okay, I am going to close out this vlog and give you some thoughts on The Fury. I am officially halfway through. You will see me finish this in next week's reading vlog. A couple things. Elliot is definitely the mastermind behind everything that's going on. Him and Lana came up with some sort of plan before they even went to the island, and Elliot was the one who initiated Lana invite Kate to the island with Jason so they can catch them in the act. It seems like Elliot has some grand scheme and some grand plan, and I feel like he thinks that he's gonna end up with Lana. In one chapter, it shows that Jason just needs Lana for money and he wants her to sign some sort of paper, probably signing over money to him. Elliot's there, so it kind of like stops it from happening. In the last couple of chapters I just read, it has been confirmed that Jason and Kate are like having an affair behind Lana's back, and they were all just in a room together, and Kate was drunk and basically said, like, we made it obvious that they're together, and Lana confronted them and said, all right, Jason, choose me or her. And then how did that end? Jason went after Elliot and tried to punch him in the face, and then when he turned around to explain to Lana, she was gone. So that's, we are leaving this reading vlog. I don't even remember what I read in this vlog. What did I start with? Oh, I started with A Holly Jolly Ever After. Ended up DNFing that, and then read a quick little Christmas novella, That Christmas Kind of Feeling by Hannah Bird. 4 stars. Absolutely love that. Very cute read. And then obviously The Fury. What is this hair and where is it? And then obviously read half of The Fury by Alex Michaelides. Pretty solid reading week. Not my best reading week, but I feel pretty good. I basically read 2 books. So it's not bad. But if you want to see me finish this in next week's reading vlog, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you again to GlowCusant for sending me their neck reading light. If you want to check out the same neck reading light that I have, or any of their other kind of reading lights, you can do so using the link in my description box. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And leave a comment with the best book you read this week. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.